Why do you think Nigeria is always associated with fraud?
I think it's an unfortunate sequence of accidents that makes it such that Nigeria is viewed as a jurisdiction that is specially linked to fraud. So if you look at the actual data, globally, Nigeria is not even, I think, in the top 12 or the top 13 countries for internet fraud globally. However, what Nigeria does have that most other countries don't have is cultural tendency to be very loud, right? So when the North Koreans or the Russians or the Americans or the Chinese, who are by far bigger in the global cybercrime space than Nigerians are, when they are doing their scams worth billions of dollars, you don't hear anything about it. They keep everything they do very quiet. They don't drive flashy cars. You don't see them, right? Even if they live ostentatiously, they live ostentatiously in closed gated neighborhoods where you can't see them. They don't have Instagram pages.
They keep a low profile.
Exactly. In Nigeria, however, you have a guy like Ramon Abbas, who you might know as Hush Puppy, who does a scam for maybe $10 million, right? Which, I mean, in personal terms, $10 million is a lot of money. But in global terms, it's absolutely nothing. It's a drop in the bucket. But with that $10 million, he buys a Rolls Royce Phantom. He buys a luxury mansion in Dubai. He lives this huge, like, ostentatious Instagram lifestyle until people inevitably start to ask, what does this person do for a living? And then inevitably the answer that comes back is this person is into cybercrime. So when you have 100, 200, 300, 1,000, 2,000 such people who have similar backstories and they're all Nigerians, then obviously what then tends to happen is people now start to associate Nigeria with fraud, with cybercrime. Meanwhile, in actual financial terms, Nigerians are a drop in the bucket. But because culturally, Nigeria is very different to most other African countries in terms of just our sheer loudness. We are very, very, very loud people. I don't think there's any Nigerian you will meet on earth that would deny it. We are very loud people. We're not very humble people. We can be quite aggressive, we can be quite overbearing, we can be quite domineering. We always like to have our point of view heard. Sometimes that can be a good thing, but this is one of those instances where it is definitely a minus because that lack of self-awareness, that constant need to be noticed is what has created this unfortunate idea that Nigerians somehow do more cybercrime than others. Nigerians don't actually do more cybercrime than even Ghanaians. But again, it's just that thing of who makes the most noise,
Who's loud?